What's up, everybody? My name is Wisdom. You can call me Wisd, and this video is sponsored by Pastor Tishane. Like Pastor Tinashe, but this one likes dancing. So, yeah, let's get into it. Functions of an advertising agency. Okay, so let's get into it. What is an ad agency, right? According to the triple, no, it's not triple, it's four A's, FOPO A, right? The FOPO A, the Advertising Association of the American Advertising. Oh my god. The American Association of Advertising Agency. This is not going on YouTube. Or is it? So, they define it as, okay, so I'm going to write down. So, an advertising agency. What's an advertising agency? This is an independent, so that's a key word there. Independent organization, okay, made up of creative people and business people. You can paraphrase it and say business minded people if you wish. Okay, creative people and business people that are specialized, or if you want, you can say that specialize in, but hey, I'm not doing a verbatim quote. So, that are specialized. These guys want a Z, but that's also specialized. What do? They specialize in developing. So these guys don't only develop, they also prepare. Okay, so this is going to come in, this is going to be very important because from the definition, there are some functions within the definition. So sometimes if you forget the functions, you can actually source them from the definition itself. So they are specialized in what? In developing and, okay, so and over there, and preparing, okay, advertising plans, advertisements, okay, and other promotional tools. Okay, so that's our definition of what an advertising agency is. Okay, so I'm just going to mark the keywords because these are very important in knowing the functions. Okay, so I'm also going to mark creative people there. Creative people, put that in bold, and developing and preparing advertising plans, I'm going to put that in bold as well. Okay, now let's start looking at the functions one by one. Okay, so what tasks do they fulfill? What tasks are they meant to fulfill, right? What does an advertising agency do? So here's something we should note, right? With advertising agencies, let's look at this. With an advertising agency, what happens is that you have the advertiser right here, the advertiser, all right, that as AD, right? So the advertiser is simply the brand or the agency that is seeking advertisement, right? That wants to be promoted. So that's the advertiser. And then you have an advertising agency, okay? We'll call that AG. So what the advertising agency does is that it brings an objective and outside viewpoint into the what? Into the advertising agency. So we can also note that, we can also actually talk about that, right? It brings a viewpoint, VP, right? An outside viewpoint, an objective viewpoint into the brand or the business. What this means is that if I have an advertising agency, right, I can only see things from my point of view from within, and that's why it's important for an advertising agency to be independent, because they as an advertising agency should be able to bring something that I cannot see, that I cannot attain, because if I can do it on my own, then there's no need for me to bring in an advertising agency. So that's one of the major importances of an advertising agency is that it brings in an outside and objective viewpoint that the advertiser cannot attain. So advertiser might not always know where their target audience is. Me, I might think, hey, maybe my target audience is on Facebook, but the advertising agency is going to say, not quite, because your target audience is in this age range. Not only the age range, but also they follow this kind of other pages, meaning your target audience is probably on X, right? Even X is, it might be a weird platform, but the advertiser will be able to bring a different viewpoint outside of what the advertiser can actually attain, for lack of better terms. Okay, so that's one of the importances. So let's get into it. First function. First function of an advertising agency. Before I talk about the first function, let me just write something down. PC cam. Okay, so a PC, here think of a laptop, and then cam, think of a camera. Now those cameras for your laptop, yeah, that's the function of an advertising agency. A PC cam, just remember that. PC cam, it's a cam for your PC. PC cam, okay? PC cam, now let's break it down. P, what does the P stand for? P stands for planning, okay? So an advertising agency, the first function is that it's supposed to plan, right? So they plan out concepts and execution of the advertising program. Okay, so if you want, you can actually say the advertising campaign, right? So they plan out concepts and execution of the advertising program. So that's the first thing. You as the advertiser, you don't come with a plan, and that is why it's an independent organization. Because if you come with a plan saying, hey, I want you to advertise on this platform, I want you to do this, well, then you probably don't need an advertising agency in the first place. Okay, so when you look at the definition, an independent organization, this is the first thing that should come in your mind, saying they always plan. They plan out how to execute, they plan out the concept, they plan out the workflow. Okay, should probably add that. Execution and workflow of the advertising program. So that's the very first function of an advertising agency. So that's the first P, right? And then the second one is C, PC. So what's the C for? What does it do? Okay, so the second one is that they create and execute. I know there's execute there, but hey, just put it as one. Okay, so they create and execute. If you want, if you wish, when you are, let's say, answering a question, a test question, an exam question, you could actually even separate them, saying they create, right? Or they they are in charge of carrying out the creative process, or they carry out the creative procedure, right? You can say that, and then you say they execute, they execute the advertisement or the advertising campaign, right? So when they carry out the execution, you can even break them down, but here we're actually putting them together for the sake of that acronym we're trying to follow, so that it's easy to remember. PC cam. I'm sure it's not hard to remember a PC camera. Think of a camera. Hey, function, camera, PC camera, PC cam. So there's this P, the C, we're getting create. They create and execute. So this is now where we see creation, right? Creation of ad copy. So for those of us that are not familiar with the word copy, copy simply means words, right? The words that you use in any piece of content. So if you're writing a blog, those words are called copy, and that's why we have copywriting, right? There's copywriting. There's this copywriting with a W, not that other copyright for, like, legal issues and whatnot. So there's creation of ad copy, or you say here there's copywriting. Okay, we have copywriting. This is now where graphics are designed Okay, designed, videos are shot, and etc. Right? That's the thing. Videos are shot, graphics are designed, art copy. This is where the creative process is actually done. And not only the creative process, but with this function, the ad agency has to execute what they planned using what they are creating, right? You plan, oh, okay, so we're going to release, we're going to run an ad uh, we're going to run an ad at $5 per day for 7 days, right? A sponsored ad. And then after planning the strategy out, they now create saying, here's the image we're going to use, here's the ad copy we're going to use to entice people. They plan that out, and then they create the content necessary for the advertising program. After they create, what do? They also execute. So that's a function. Remember, this is not a process. I'm not saying they plan first, then there's creation. No. You can actually arrange them in any order. This is not a process. These are the functions, right? So the function is to plan, to create, and execute. And then we go to the third one now. The other C, PC, CAM, right? What does the other C stand for? It's something that's very, very important. They coordinate. They coordinate. What do they do? How do they coordinate? And what do they coordinate? Well, they coordinate several activities within the advertising program. Okay? So that's what they do. They coordinate several activities within the advertising program. What is this coordination here? Okay, so what they do is that they ensure that the media content, the ad copy, the ideas that you bring about, the decisions are all properly connected. So there's proper coordination, coordination, right, of various elements involved in the advertising program or campaign. You can say, this time I'll use campaign. Yeah, the advertising program or advertising campaign. So they have to coordinate. You as the advertiser, by the way, remember the advertiser is the brand that is seeking advertising services, right? Yes, not the ones that are actually doing the advertising. There's the advertising agency. So yes, the advertiser doesn't have to coordinate. The advertiser will never and should never come and say, I want you guys to use this piece of media, and hey, creative department, start doing this. Hey, account management department, do that. No, that doesn't happen, right? An advertising agency has its own departments, right? There's so many departments in an advertising agency, and the duty of that advertising agency with its functions is to actually coordinate. Yes, that's the third function. Let's get to the fourth one, the fourth wall. Yeah, account management or accounting. So I'll write account management here so that we don't mistaken it with accounts. Okay, so account management here, the word account here refers to a relationship. Yeah, a relationship. um you are managing a relationship. Okay, you're managing a relationship. So here the goal